Okay, this lesson is on slope. Okay, the vocabulary you need to know. Slope is the rate of change between any 2 points on a line. It is the measure of the steepness of a line. The rate of change is the ratio of two quantities that change. Slope is an example. Okay, the slope of a line is the same between any 2 points on the line because lines have a constant rate of change. Okay, one way that we can find the slope is a method called rise over run, which is the vertical change over the horizontal change. So, looking at this line, we're going to find the slope. To find the slope, you can use any 2 points on the line because the slope is going to be the same with any 2 points. So, we're going to do our rise over run. By that, rise means we're going to go up or down, and run means we're going to go right or left. So we're going to start at any point and try to get to the other one, rising first, running second. So to get to this, if we start with the left hand point over here, to rise to the next, we go up 1, 2, 3 blocks. And if we run, we're going to go to the right. And remember, up is positive and right is positive. And we are going to go right 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we have risen 3, run 6. And to find our slope, we need to simplify. So our slope is 1/2. Okay, let's find the slope to this line. We're going to use our rise over run. And I'm once again going to start with my left hand point. To get to this point over here, we're going to rise first. We're going up 1, 2. So that will be a positive 2. And then we're going to have to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to the other point. And it is simplified, so our slope is 2/5. Okay? I also wanted to show you this, that you could start with any point and get the same slope. So we're going to start with our right hand side. To get to the left now, we're going to have to rise down. And I know that's kind of hard to think about, but rise is up or down. And to get to this point now, we're going to have to go down 2, which will be a -2. And we're running left now, which is also a negative. And that's going to be a -5 blocks. Okay, we have a -2 over a -5, which is just 2/5. Okay, example number 3. We're going to graph the data, find and interpret the slope of the line through the points. Now, I kind of hit on this when we talked about proportionality. If you look here, this is a proportional relationship. We start at 0, count by 2's at the top, start by 0, count by 10's at the bottom. Everything is proportional. So when you graph, you also see that it is a straight line going through the origin, which also shows that it is a proportional relationship. Now, if you look, if we were to use these 2 points to find our slope, we would, if we started with the left, or actually I guess we started here, we go down -20 over -4, which is still positive 20 over 4, which gives us 5. So we can still use that method to find our slope. But also, if you know that it is a proportional relationship, we have talked about the constant of proportionality being y over x, which the constant of proportionality is the same thing as the unit rate, and it is the same thing as the slope. Now, you can only do y over x if it is proportional. Whenever you do that, you can use any point or any x and y in the proportional relationship. So we can use that 20 over 4, which would give us 5, or we can use 10 over 2, which would give us 5. There's many different ways to find a slope with a proportional relationship. Okay? The slope of the line in the previous problem represents the unit rate. As I said, the constant of proportionality, the unit rate, and the slope. y over x is all of those things in a proportional relationship. So the slope is 5, so if we want to interpret that, that means that you will be earning $5 per hour babysitting. Okay, there's another way to find the slope. If you do not do rise over run, you can use the slope formula. Sometimes you'll be given a question that asks, what is the slope of the given line with the points blah and blah? You're given 2 different points, and this is where this formula is useful if you don't want to graph. Okay, so we're going to find the slope of a line that contains the following points: 1 and 5/2, and a negative 1/2 and a negative 1/4. So we're going to use our formula. Okay, well, what is y2, y1, x2, x1? Well, I like to use a graph to help me out. Or a chart, a table. But this y2, y1 is just the first y and the second y. So, for example, this here is our first x, so this would be x1. This is our second x, so it would be x2. Same thing here. This would be y1. This would be y2. If this one was first and this one was second, you can still do the same thing. This would be x1, this would be x2, but you have to make sure that you are consistent. So to be consistent, I like to put my points in a table. So here's my first point. Here's my second. I've got my x1 here, my x2, my y1, my y2. Okay, so now all you do is plug in the formula. The m stands for slope, so our slope is going to be equal to y2 minus y1. This is y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1. Then it's going to be divided by x2 minus x1. When you subtract the top, negative 1/4 minus 5/2 is negative 2 3/4, and a negative 1/2 minus 1 is a negative 1.5. If you need help on the fractions, go back to my YouTube channel and watch the videos on adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing fractions. When you divide these fractions, these mixed numbers right here, you get that the slope is equal to 11 over 6. Okay, when you're looking at the slope, if you see that it rises from left to right, its slope is going to be positive. If it falls from left to right, its slope is negative. If the line is horizontal, it has 0 or no slope. If the line is vertical, it has an undefined slope. So looking at these different graphs, we're going to determine if they are positive, negative, 0, or undefined. So this one is going down from left to right. It's like reading a book from left to right. It's going down, so that means it is negative. This one goes straight across. It is horizontal, so the slope is no slope or 0. This is like the first example, is going down from left to right. It is negative. Graph D is going up and down. It is vertical, meaning it is undefined. Going up from left to right means that it is positive. And once again, a horizontal line will give you a slope of 0. Alright, I want you to try these on your own. See what you can do.